But the bottom line is that looking at different ways to address dealing with those cultural resources, we also have to consider what the Texas Historical Commission requires of us. And because it's at the river, the San Antonio River, we also have to consider what the Army Corps of Engineers requires of us. They have a regulatory process that we have to follow. And part of that regulatory process with these historically significant resources is that we can't really move them. We can't change the configuration. We can't move them one way or another. They have a significance to the culture of San Antonio and Brackenridge Park in their location and in their orientation and configuration. So, we asked them, could we move them forward? Could we move them back to address some of the proximity issues with some of the large trees that we have? They considered it, but basically told us that, no, if you're going to rebuild and rehabilitate these walls and these other structures, that they have to be rehabilitated in place. They have to be rehabilitated as close to original condition as possible.
Obviously, the Texas Historical Commission has a say on what's happening and how it's happening and gives us input on that. We've been having conversations with both of those for about 18 months, and obviously we'll get permits from them based on our plans.
Something you can vote on? Well, the local, state, and federal governments, all three of them tell us that they're significant. We've got multiple governmental entities telling us that we cannot remove them. And if we do anything to the walls to repair them, that we've got to do that properly. We've got to do that under their guidelines. We have to do that under their codes. And there's a lot of design consideration went into that. We have to make sure that we follow their rules. We can't do whatever we want to these walls. That's just a fact. We've been talking with the THC for approximately 18 months, having multiple meetings with them and discussing what would be possible and what wouldn't be possible, what would be approved, what wouldn't be approved, moving the walls forward, or only repairing some of them and not all of them. The THC would have a say in that as well. They just indicated that something like that would not be permissible. When I hear people say that, again, that it's easier to do this and easier to do that so we can save trees. Believe me, I love trees as much as anybody. I wish we could save them all. Unfortunately, in this particular situation, we can't.
THC to all of the other regulatory agencies that are required. That Corps of Engineers doesn't play. I've done enough emergency management and responses, and they just don't play. It's so important that you have to understand that we're going through the front door. We're not coming through side doors. We're not coming in back windows or dropping from ceilings. We are being very respectful to the process, and we're being very transparent.